Hallo und herzlich willkommen. Hier ist eine neue Folge von Radikal Glücklich, deinem Podcast für ein strahlendes, wunderbar gut gelauntes Leben. Ich bin Silja. Folge 201 ist ein Interview. Ewelina Bubanja on the healing power of sound. After a short German introduction, there will be the English interview. Ihr Lieben, ein Interview mit der Frau, die am Anfang des letzten Jahres mein Bowl-Set gefunden hat und mich begleitet hat auf meinen ersten Schritten zum Thema Klang und bei der ich weiter lernen will, das ist sicher. Ich liebe diese Menschen, die den Klang teilen und die so viel Weisheit zu teilen haben und überhaupt liebe ich es, Neues zu lernen. Falls dir das auch so geht, dann setz dich gemütlich hin, geh spazieren, was auch immer und hör dir dieses wunderbare Gespräch an. Ich hatte so viel Spaß. Ich hoffe, es lässt dich beseelt zurück. Ewelina teilt 2 herrliche Übungen. Sie erzählt, wie der Klang sie gefunden hat, was überhaupt die Magie des Klanges ist, wie wir unsere Stimme nutzen können, mit welchen einfachen Möglichkeiten. Sie erzählt darüber, wie man einen guten Weg haben kann, um zu starten mit Crystal Bowls. Und das Beste ist, geh zu ihrem Instagram-Account, der ist wie alles andere auch verlinkt in den Shownotes. Dort kannst du in dieser Woche eine Alchemy Crystal Bowl gewinnen. Ihr Crystalline Sound Institute hat Geburtstag und sie will gerne etwas zurückgeben. Und es ist das wohl wertvollste, wunderbarste Geschenk, was man machen kann. Also wenn du von einer eigenen Bowl träumst, da ist dein Ort gerade. Wirf dein Los in den Hut. Okay, jetzt viel Spaß bei der Folge und ich sage danke, dass du hier bist. Danke fürs Zuhören. Es ist mir eine große Freude. So here's a special guest. I am excited and honored, dear Ewelina, that you're taking the time to be on Radikal Glücklich because you found my first bowl set, which I so deeply love. The first 5 bowls to start with, which was a lot for me. And you did such an incredible job. They are giving me joy every day. And I'm happy that you're going to share your art a little with us today. So for the listeners who don't hear you, but the most will already know about crystal bowls because I told them how much I love it. But maybe it would be great if you share a little about your journey, how that whole sound healing found you, whatever you want to share.
Well, first and foremost, I'm so excited to be here. It took us a year to synchronize, and we were just laughing a minute ago that we synchronized in the highest level, even with our outfits, right? So I am so happy to finally have this conversation with you and share my art, as you said, share my love, share my passion, share my calling, my life path with you. But, even before, I would like to share with you that when this episode is airing, it's so special for me because it's the time when I'm celebrating 8th birthday of the Crystal Ball Temple in Berlin.
Wow.
Yes, it's been a journey. It was the first alchemy balls in Germany, really. So it was such an unknown modality at that time. And it was a long journey. Now you can see them everywhere. And so many practitioners in Germany are using them to support their offerings. Like you, beautifully making it very unique, Silja. And so to celebrate this 8th birthday, I would like to give back to community and I would like to really share something very special. And for me, very special is Alchemy Ball. So I will be giving away 1 crystal alchemy ball. And I invite all of you to join me, to hop on Instagram to see what to do to take part. And on the 18th of January, I will use a special app for drawing a winner and the person who will be lucky and blessed to receive this beautiful crystalline being into their life.
Oh, wow. That is such a great offering. One can win a crystal bowl.
I know.
precious gift you are making. Wow.
It is, I was thinking a lot about it, and I realized that for some people it takes so long to be able to welcome the ball in their life. And I wanted to maybe make it easier for at least one person, and this way to share it. So that's really from my heart to your heart. And I can't wait to know where the ball goes. And you probably can't wait to know which ball it is. But to find out, yes, it's a secret. To find out, you have to go to the Instagram and to see.
So if it's already online, I will link the Instagram, because we are recording this episode in front. I will link the Instagram to the show notes. If not, I will, of course, link your account.
Mm-hmm.
So,
wonderful idea.
People can just go there and where is that winning thing? And
very easily. It will be around the date of our podcast airing. I'll make sure that it's all in flashy colors, so you cannot miss it. That this is this opportunity for you, for sure. Yeah.
So, how did sound find 8 years? That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And your question is so amazing. I'm thinking about it. How did the sound find me? Actually, it's quite corny, but the sound was there from the beginning. Really, the sound was there from the beginning. Since I remember, first of all, I was born and raised in the multi-generational family with lots of women present. So my great-grandmother was what you would call these days shaman or medicine woman. She was always hanging around plants and picking them up. We could go for a walk and she would find a whole bunch of different things that she would then use, which was very unusual for those times as well. But I guess she was raised in very close connection to nature. So she passed on this very dearly and clearly to me. And she was always singing. So that thing, she was raising me a lot. So that presence of sound, of a human voice, of vibration was there from the beginning. My granny, on the other side, interestingly, she was like a modern equivalent of Gabby Bernstein. So she was a manifester and all about affirmations and all about making things happen. And then my mom was really a healing hand. And this is also, it became very clear to me where it came from and where is this connection. But my mom also was singing to me a lot. And so I was really born into this music and singing presence. But then, of course, like all of us, or maybe not all of us, but a majority of us, I lost it. I lost it somewhere on the way, kind of trying to put myself in a mold that I thought I should fit into. And I went off, moved out from home, and I studied in Ireland. I studied art history and Italian, and that was way far away from music. And, it's funny because probably I would follow that path of what I thought I should be. But magic happened for me randomly, really randomly, although nothing is random in the universe. I went for a Reiki session, and the Reiki session was... I remember on St. Patrick's Day in Ireland, when no one goes have a body work done, everyone goes to the pub. So there was just one person working, and that was that Reiki guy. I had a session, and it was the biggest epiphany of my life, really. I remember the feeling after the session. It was just such a profound shift of where I was after, as opposed to where I was before, that I knew that this is how I want to feel. And that started everything for me. That started the whole path with energy healing and studying it for years and then sharing it with people and teaching it. Apart from Crystalline Sound Institute, I also have a Reiki school in Berlin. And I am initiating in Reiki, but I'm also teaching pure energy healing courses with connecting to different strands, different vibrations. So this is really something very present to me, vibration, light and vibration. And from that Reiki experience, there was the Kundalini awakening, then there was the yoga came into my life, meditation came into my life. Of course, crystals were present all the time. And then the sound finally. I reconnected with the sound. It was a mantra singing. a group mantra singing that sent me back home. And it was an incredible experience. It was just that feeling of you are catapulted to somewhere where you came from. It was such a profound connection. That's where the sound started coming back into my life. And something that I really wanted to mention to all the women that are thinking of having babies or are having babies, for me, having my child was also such a profound connection to my own voice and reconnection to that inner sound, because I really wanted her to be surrounded by voice, by music, by sound. So I always ommed to her, particularly in the first months when she didn't want to sleep or she cried and I didn't know why she cries. I was omming. And when I chanted om, the primordial sound, she was calming instantly and she was actually falling asleep. So om saved me. So if you have a baby, you have to start omming. It's like the toolkit for moms. Really incredible, really incredible.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Have you ever tried omming to your kids?
Not yet, actually, because when my children were born, I was in the early 20s. I'm now above 50. So I wasn't into yoga and energy at all. I was very concerned if I do everything right. I had a good connection. I have a good feeling for my body and for their bodies. So I think intuitively I did a lot of things right. So I hummed a lot, which is kind of the same, but only when we were alone, because as many, I got told I don't have a nice voice. I can't sing. And there are a lot of people who have the same experience, had the same experience. So we need to find our voice back.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. You're talking about it and the hair is literally lifting on the back of my head. This is such an important topic. But before we dive into it, I wanted to suggest something very funny. Yes. How about you hum to your teenagers? I imagine it would be equally relaxing.
I do hum a lot now. It's like crystals and oils, and yes. I give them sound bath if they want to.
Okay.
My older sons both have moved out; they are adults now. But my 14-year-old, the youngest, is still here, and and he is a really calm person. So he's like, he gifted me for Advent. He gifted me a crystal, so that's how we connect.
I love this. So you speak the same language. It's beautiful. Yes, but you mentioned the voice, and I think that it's so present for many people, regardless of gender, that we are told that we don't sound the way that we're supposed to. Mm-hmm. It is so ridiculous. From my own experience, from singing in the choir and actually having the voice, I told myself that I somehow, when I was singled out to sing in front of all the audience, I got such a stage fright that I completely collapsed within myself. That was when I was, I think, 15. And from that point, I convinced myself that my voice doesn't sound well. And it took about another 15 years to undo it, really. Because the fact is that it doesn't have to have a particular sounding. Everyone has a natural voice, which is so unique. That reminds me of actually alchemy crucibles. The voice is so unique that no one else can actually transmit the same information. And when we get safe with this idea that we can produce a sound that is acceptable by ourselves and by others, I feel something unlocks within so deeply. And this is also the topic of my level 2 course.
I saw that. That sounded beautiful.
I call it a sacred voice. So connecting alchemy crucibles, working with alchemy balls and your sacred voice. Because yes, it is magic where we barely talk about the human behind the balls. We always focus on the balls, how they look incredible and how magical they are. But we tend to forget that the person that is behind the balls, the person that holds the space, is as important as the balls. Because without you and holding that space in a very conscious, present, embodied, and responsible way, the sound bath can be as much medicine as much as it can be a poison. So this is the first thing to think about. Why do I need to do a course on its own? It's very easy to say you don't know things that you don't know. The ignorance is bliss is my favorite line, because we really don't know if we don't know something. But I think that we all should really learn the techniques and understand things on a very, very organized level before we can release it and let it go and become the channels of that wisdom and become connected and allow the higher self to speak through, or higher light to pour through and be in the sound bath. So we know that this person is so important behind the walls, and it's bringing so much healing. But often we don't think about using the voice, and voice is like leveling up your healing game, honestly. When you are combining your vibration with the vibration of the balls, provided that the balls are uniquely and very beautifully matched to you, not just random balls. So we're talking about very, very precise combination. The healing capability is unbelievable. Really, everything is possible. Then everything is possible. And just 2 weeks ago, I think I had a course with participants and to level 2, and we had worked a lot with the voice coach on finding our voice, so unlocking those areas in our body that are maybe preventing us from really letting it out, discovering where the voice can come from, because it can also come from different places. And then finding that true note, the note of your soul for this moment of your life. And then producing this note, producing the sound with the alchemy ball. Mm-hmm. Not any alchemy ball, but the ball that is precisely matched to the note that you have. Mm-hmm. And then she strengthens your confidence in actually being able to hum with her or vocalize with her or tone with her. It was so powerful that when every participant used their own way of producing their own sound, they were all different, with their own different balls, we were all crying. It really was, as one of the girls said, a missing key. The voice is a missing key. It's like the missing code into this profound, profound healing that can happen. So it's almost like we are collectively discovering now that it's not only about the alchemy balls, it's also about the consciousness of the person that is behind.
Absolutely.
And yeah, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I totally agree. I think it's with not only with sound, but with a lot of things we do, is the intention and the energy of the person who is doing something is more important than what we are actually doing.
Absolutely.
I totally believe in that. Yes,
absolutely.
It's not easy because we need to. What I really was my biggest learning for this year, since we are recording in the late 2022, was to learn how to manage my energy on a more precise level, so I can be in a good state when I'm doing things that will affect others. But you mentioned, and I know I will get answers if I don't ask it right now, you mentioned that it can be a poison too. So
yes.
What do we have to, do you want to share something, what is important?
Yes, absolutely. Please stop me at some point because I have so much to share.
No problem.
Well, the most important thing for me, if, for example, you decide not to do a course and you think that you want to do it yourself, would be to research deeply about contraindications for sound healing, because there are many. Contraindications for binaural beats. This is like very unexplored topic, which is very serious. Binaural beats, for instance, should not ever be used for kids or pregnant women or people who are prone to seizures, people that have pacemakers or any type of devices that are within their being, people who have a serious psychological issues and are on medications. It is because as you know, balls are entraining, they are influencing brainwaves. So this is a very potent tool to shift the whole ecosystem of your body, on all levels, molecular level, nervous level, and nervous system level. For instance, people who have suffered trauma, PTSD, suffer from anxiety, and there are so many people suffering from anxiety, should never be exposed to binaural beats or high pitches, because they will trigger them. They will bring them outside, not only outside of their comfort zone, they will actually bring them past the threshold of what they can hold in the moment, and they can have an anxiety attack in your sound bath, which would be totally what you're not aiming for. And that's also why it's so incredibly important to know those things. So contraindications would be the first thing that I would say it's really important to know. And also, your set is everything. So we all have different understanding and preferences in terms of music, but it is really important that if you want to promote healing, the set is a harmonized set. So it's not only matching your vibration and you feel wow when you're playing it, it also is making people feel at home and at ease. So when you're playing, you're creating this feeling of homeostasis within the body, and the self-healing can kickstart, can happen. Should I stop now?
Well, I can put a little question in, and then you can go on. That will be fun. So, talking about the homeostasis that happens, trying to get it right on English.
Perfect.
And that inner harmony, which is where the bowls, I think everybody who once has attended a sound bath will have felt it, that when we listen to sound and we let go a little and we relax into the sound, that there's an inner harmony that is initiated or brought back, maybe that's more the right word. So you talked about that we need a harmonized set, and I know from myself that you do good suggestions and you pull sets wisely. But let's go into the frequency, not of a set, but the frequency and why that is able to happen. So why is it that sound can affect us in such a deep way, can do such a magic in us?
Oh my goodness, such a beautiful question. Well, to start with, everything is a vibration. So now, as the science accepted it, we also somehow accepted it. It's not questionable anymore. We don't even have to debunk it or discuss it. It is. We know it. So with crystalline or alchemy crystal balls, it's super easy because those particular balls are very pure. So they are made with really pure crystal quartz, 99.98% or so. So that's really pure crystal quartz. That increases their their resonance. And as we are composed of water, in 70 to 80%, it profoundly affects the body. So some people can feel in the alchemy crystal sound bath that actually the sound enters their body and it moves like a wave. It's a palpable feeling. It's a physical feeling. It's unimaginable. You have to experience it, because we can really discuss it and talk about it, but until you really feel it, you cannot really grasp what it is about. And it's the same as finding the ball that is uniquely matched to you. I've been talking about it for years, and only last week I had a consultation with a person who saw a ball. We tried so many different balls that matched this person's wise understanding of what they needed. And then the question was to let it go and release it. And I said, I have one more ball that I would like to present to you. And I placed the ball in front of this person. He looked at the ball and he poured in tears. It was the soul match between him and the ball before he even played the ball. It was a personal, individual, collective healing that happened by just holding the ball and connecting with the energetic field of the ball. So it's very interesting what you mentioned. You talk about the inner harmony. The balls actually have like a fourfold of healing that they're offering us. Sound is one of them, and it's super beautiful and it's incredibly powerful because, as we said, it changes the chemistry of the brain. It can bring us into different state, from the state of anxiety or alertness, like we have right now, into the state of deep relaxation. Like if I went up and I played one of those big balls behind me, you would instantly drop into the alpha or theta state. And this is also where inner work happens, where the processes kickstart when we're in that state, the processes of self-healing, of rebalancing. But also this is a beautiful moment of supporting yourself with mantras, affirmations, emotional tapping. There are so many things that you can incorporate into the sound to make it even affect you deeper on a different level. So sound is one thing. The other thing would be the vibration of the color. So every ball has a different color, and you actually can... Yeah, I'm getting confirmation from the outside. You probably heard it. Knock, knock, knock. Yes, yes. Exactly. Someone is cheering into this. So the color is like the second level of how the balls are impacting us. The vibration of the frequency of the color. And we can measure, of course, we can clearly define which color corresponds to which chakra or which part of the body. So that is also a beautiful information to us. For instance, if we are... Yes, thank you. If we are dealing with... I was just thinking about the example and the yes came. So if, for example, we are working with doom and gloom, we are in the winter, we don't take enough vitamin D, we didn't go to Hawaii or Mallorca to charge ourselves up with sun, we can work with yellow color, the color of the solar plexus chakra, and we can cultivate that inner sun through the frequency of the color. And I mentioned colors in the context of the balls, but what became really interesting to me right now when I'm speaking is that if you don't have the balls, you can also work with colors. And the great example of how deeply the colors affect us would be if you make this experiment and you wear monochrome. So you choose one color per day. For instance, today is a pink day. And you go through the day and you go through the day and see how you feel, how this color is impacting you. Precisely get into the feeling, how are you affected when you wear white versus red? Because that's an opposite spectrum. The white is the crown chakra, its connection to the above, while the red is the root chakra. You're connecting with Mother Earth. So you would notice already by not only having balls, but using the color, you can see how much you can influence your being. And if you're a person who opens up so easily and needs grounding a lot, then wear some red, and vice versa. Yes, going back to the balls. Sorry.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful sidestep we took. I love it because actually all that the chakras have been in my interest for a long, long time, and I love how little things can affect the energy field. It can be like a hand you put on a certain part of your body. It can be a color, a crystal, an oil, a sound. That's just amazing. And but what I needed to learn, and maybe you got a suggestion for all those listening who think, well, yeah, that sounds nice, but I don't feel it, because it took me years, literally years, to undo the numbing of my feelings that has happened because of some kind of trauma, so I can feel the subtle energies and I'm still learning. But it's and this year has been a great exploration with the sound and smell and stuff. So, and I talk to people and they all say, well, yeah, I kind of get it, but not really. And trusting your feelings, opening to your own sensations in your body. Do you have suggestions for that journey?
Yes. But I have to say that I think you speak for all of us. I think that when we're born, we are just so trusting and we're just so natural and we're so connected and we have no filters, really. We are just ourselves. And then as we go through life, things happen for us, but also to us. And at that time, sometimes we disassociate, we numb, we hide, we develop coping mechanisms that are unfortunately putting us very far away from our essence. So I think that this is really applying to all humankind, at least to people who are living in like cities and societies, and they are not just living with wolves and unicorns. So I think for me, from my experience, it was energy feeling. So it was energy healing and feeling. So that feeling that I had after session, this first session, was so profound. It was reconnection to my essence, to who I really was. It was like a memory of what I am actually here for. And it was strong enough for me to just drop everything that I was doing. Exactly. Literally, I dropped everything. I came back to the teacher and I said, what do I need to learn to feel like this every day? I want this to be my life. So for me, from my experience, that's the only thing I can share, is that there is a missing component that we forget about, and it's practice. We kind of assume that it has to happen overnight. It cannot happen overnight. And now I feel that the difference between a person who is really connected to themselves on their path is that every day they are choosing to show up for themselves and to create this practice. And the practice can be anything that works for you, and for me. For me, for instance, it works with energy healing. For me, it is daily, maybe even sometimes few times a day, clearing my field and then rebalancing my field energetically and then sealing my field, deciding intentionally, what do I want to welcome into my field? When you are very numb, I think it takes some time to be able to even open to the idea of doing this type of work. But I think I would have one exercise for you if you were to do it at home. Something that somehow is referenced in all of the techniques and all of the ancient civilizations, let's put it this way. It's a practice of sensitizing your palms. So we all have healing hands. And people often in Reiki courses, they ask me, is it possible that I don't have it? That you know how to do it and you were born with healing hands and I not? No, it's not possible. We all have equal capabilities. And that's a game changer. If you start thinking about it, if I put effort into it, if I put time into it, I can actually have the healing hands that I dream of. Then maybe you'll carve out this little time every day to do this exercise. So what you do is you find a comfortable spot, you take a few breaths to relax yourself, and then you just bring your hands into the namaste, the prayer position, with your eyes closed, of course. And then you will be just bringing your awareness to the palms, taking a breath and imagining that you're breathing through your palms and you're drawing this inhale from your palms into your arms, into your heart space, into your whole body.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's crazy. And then it's not the end. Wait, stay there. When you exhale, because you have to exhale at some point, imagine you're exhaling through your whole skin, like every pore of your skin. You're exhaling out. And again, you inhale through your palms and you exhale through your skin. What it essentially does, it expands your aura, expands this field around you. You don't have to see it, you don't have to feel it. You just have to start expanding it. And at some point, you'll become really, really aware of how big am I? And on some days you will feel like, oh my, I'm so shrinked. And on other days you will be humongous. and it sensitizes your palms. Mm-hmm. So you're bringing awareness, the breath to your palms. And it is crucial because this way also you're becoming more aware of your hands. And over time, you can also start separating your hands and start feeling the field. And if you're a clairvoyant, if you can see, you'll be able to see the energy. Some people just with closed eyes see colors, feel colors, feel. For others, it's like a magnetic field. For someone else, it can be like a bubble gum. It's madness. It's beautiful. So that's how you connect to the energy. So I think that sensitizing and like feeling the energy is wonderful and it's amazing. But if you open yourself then and you sensitize yourself, you're prone to really absorb a lot. So we have to be also super smart about, do I really want to be very sensitive and very open? And how do I actually decide on what comes in? Because if you start becoming so sensitive to energies and you go to U-Bahn completely open, it's like you're standing naked in the subway. It's literally what it is. Yeah. So if you decide to follow this guideline to do those exercises, they come up with one more. You have to do the closing of your field afterwards. So you have to protect your field. And you can just do it by setting an intention that only love and light can enter my aura.
That's beautiful.
And it's so simple. It doesn't require any time, just intention. And we know that intention is energy and we create reality with it. So I hope that if someone really feels like super numb and disconnected, that you start maybe investing 5 minutes a day in this. Before bed, for example, is a great idea. It helps also to really come down and go to sleep. And hopefully after some time, this will improve for you. It definitely took a year or 2 years for me as well. And also it's funny because we do exercises and then the mind comes in.
Totally. The mind says, oh, that's nonsense. What are you doing?
Exactly. What is this? It cannot work. It worked for everyone, but it will not work for you. Yes, the mind is so tricky. And that's why you also have to learn not to trust the mind. Because the body will never lie to you. However, the brain is incredible and the mind.
Yes, I love what Eckhart Tolle says, that we all can use our mind after we made a decision, after we are in our knowing. Then we can use the mind to make a plan, to move through the steps. But not for decisions, not for what do I know or not know.
I love it. And it's like about any decision, right? It's if you were to make a decision, for example, you're going to view an apartment and you're deciding, is it for me or not? From the mind perspective, you would most probably take a different decision than if you feel with your heart. Is it my place? How do I feel in here?
And the best decisions, everybody who I have talked to, with the best decisions, it's like I came in and I knew. Mm-hmm. Or I saw him and I knew. Mm-hmm. So it is like we know the essential things that are right for us, we know, but we keep being, maybe we don't have the patience to wait for the right thing. We want it so badly, so we our mind can convince us to take a step, and then we kind of compromise with it. Oh, my mind is an impatient thing.
It's so funny. It's so funny. I think it's like for everyone the same. It's like we wake up and so many things happened at night. We need to clear that off. And then so many things happen during the day. And if we don't make a conscious decision of rebalancing and bringing ourselves to the center, we're going to be thrown off. And when we're thrown off, all those lower frequencies of fear and past experiences and anger and this and that and triggers, everything comes in. And so I feel that the difference between a good day and bad day is just that decision of showing up for yourself and deciding, okay, I know the tools, I can do it. And the sound is amazing for this, because if you have a ball, you don't have to have patience. Because actually it's the fastest way of rebalancing your field.
Yes.
It is indeed, right? Because for meditation, sometimes it takes time for people to really get into the idea of, I could sit and I could devote this time and I could do nothing. For energy healing, you need to sensitize your palms. You need to get fine-tuned. As you said, you were fine-tuning the whole year so beautifully. And for the ball, what I find it's incredible is that in general, sound healing doesn't have to be alchemy crystal ball. It can be anything else. It can actually be your voice. And that's the most powerful tool that you can possibly have. And you already have it within, because I'm a firm believer that we have everything we need already within us. So it's just about unlocking this potential. And for some people, it is getting a ball, to being able to tune in and tone with the ball, because on your own, it feels like it's not possible. But for others, it is just like sitting on the mat, and why not on the map as well, and really toning and just like humming. Even humming is brilliant. Humming is healing. Humming is toning your vagus nerve, your wanderer in your body that connects your three brains, your actual mind, your heart, and your gut. And toning is just incredible. And you have it. You've got it.
Yes, and I have to totally agree with all you said. And I think that when I use a crystal bowl in the morning, I do my, when everybody has left the house, I have like an hour for myself doing breath work and some yoga stuff and moving, dancing, whatever feels right for my body. And then during this year, I kind of had the feeling that sometimes when you do intensive breath work, things come up, and I didn't always feel safe. So as we're talking about that protection, I love to play the bowls and imagine that there's like a cathedral of light around me, and you feel so safe and nothing ever happens. It's like things come up and I feel so safe and held by the vibration that has emanated the room. It's just, I think it's magic.
This is so beautiful. What a beautiful sharing. I love it. I saw this cathedral in my mind's eye. It's wow. And you are so right of doing it, because with alchemy crystal balls, because they are crystals, we can actually create a potent healing space, a shield. We can create whatever we want. We can shift the energy in the room. We can use the ball to actually break the buildup of energy, because, things are happening in our houses. We have visitors. Sometimes we don't, but we sleep, we release, we have arguments, we have variety of emotions. And this all needs to be shifted. For some people, going with a stick of sage or Palo Santo, opening the windows and setting intention is enough. But for others who, for example, don't like the smell, like having a ball and just walking around and chiming the ball and walking around and pointing the ball into the corners with intention of releasing all the buildup of energy.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. That's
and
so
maybe transforming. That's a good sign. Like transforming the lower vibration, the higher vibration. That is actually the thing to do. Because it's not about, oh, you are negative energy, can you please leave through the window? I just welcome the positive vibes in here. No, it's not. It's more about, what can I do with this energy that is in here? How can I transform it?
Oh, yes. That is so true. That is so true. Yes, because if we
Somehow I can't see you.
Oh, I'm here. I'm saying everything is still, if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I hear you. That's enough for me.
Okay. So
I feel your presence. Yes, I can hear you.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. So as you were talking about transformation, instead of going out of wanting to have things out, I think that is so crucial for our own healing too, because if we neglect, like kind of abandon all those fears, and they will stay in us, they will get stronger. I think it's with all the energy we need to
exactly,
and also the old things we need to embrace, so then it can go and everything will transform, because we are the persons we are because of our history. Everything has two sides, so we have to kind of lose that duality of wanting only unicorns. Of course, I would love a unicorn.
This is beautifully said, Silja. Really beautifully said. I also am a firm believer that everything needs to be seen, accepted, transformed, loved, and released. Then we have to accept every part of ourselves. Yeah, and it's easy to say. Sometimes it's a very long process. And even if we thought that we accepted and we loved that part, then there's another layer of the onion that falls. But that's all the journey, and that's all the fun. And for me, a big shift of perspective was when I started focusing on that journey rather than where I wanted to get. And it became just... Right? Yeah. It became
That's
fun.
such a good one. That's a good one. So let us go back to the bowls, because there will be one to win. And I could talk to you for hours, but I know time is precious and I don't want to steal more time than you said yes to. So if somebody is listening right now, feels attracted to the bowls, of course, go to the Instagram to maybe win the bowl if you are lucky, if it's meant for you.
Yeah.
But what are different ways to start? Is there, if I'm attracted, how can I make my first contact? What are your offerings? Tell us.
First of all, I would urge you not to get the frosted white balls. And if it even means to save for a year, I had a person who saved 2 years to get a ball. Imagine the anticipation. Imagine the love when finally was the time when they could afford it.
Wow.
It's worth it. It's really worth it, because the healing potential is unprecedented with those balls, and the white frosted will not bring it to you. It's just what it is. I would say the easiest way would be to come to a sound bath, and I offer a variety of different sound baths. Some of them are waved in with the plant medicine. I really love working with the local plants that we have, but also cacao. I offer individual courses as well, or individual sessions as well. So when you want to dive deep, just you and the particular topic, if the ball isn't yet like available to you for whatever reason, you can always find a way to get into sound baths. And I think that would be the most important thing, to try to get it in person. Because to share an online sound healing session requires a lot of knowledge about how not to distort those frequencies that you're sharing. Your ball clearly says, for instance, that it's 432 and it's an A. And then if you're not aware, you can actually be transmitting something completely different. That's one thing. Apart from quality sound, when you are listening in person, the sound waves in, you're listening with your whole body. So it's a whole body listening experience. So your bones, your cells, your organs, all of them, they have different frequencies and they absorb whatever is in the room. When you're listening through your headphones only on a sound bath, that's a little bit different. So my urge would be, make it to a sound bath. Come to Berlin. Come to Berlin, definitely. And if you feel like you would like to learn more about the balls, you would like to experience them, you can also join me for a course. So in my courses, you don't have to own a ball. You can come in and we go through this beautiful and long process of connecting you with the particular ball that is matching your soul in the moment of your life. So it's not about you coming in and saying, oh, I like that one in the corner, I'm going to play her. It's more about, no, let's sit down, let's close our eyes, let's sensitize the palms, let's see what we feel, let's discover how do they talk to us. So it's the whole amazing process, and it's a part of a course as well. That's how you connect with the ball. You learn about the ball. You get into this communion or union with your ball throughout the whole weekend. You learn techniques. Every course is like a ceremony for me. So I was thinking you will probably ask me, how do I call myself? And I really never like being called anything, because it's really hard to say, what am I offering? But if I would really have to sum up, what am I doing is, I'm bringing ceremony into daily life. I'm making daily life to be ceremony. So my intention is not to just carve out 1 hour on Sunday at 11 for that time for ourselves, but trying to bring this consciousness and presence and embodiment in daily life. So every course is like a ceremony. Every course, what makes it very much different than other courses is that it's a small group. So it is very important for me that we have this very deep connection, and I can assist you on a very deep level. So it's a very small group of people. And that's also where the transformation is possible. So it's a sacred space. So if you can't get the ball, you can still get into the course if you want.
That's beautiful.
It's possible. And of course, finally, whenever the time is right for getting a ball, it is such an incredible moment. And it has to be felt with your whole body. It has to be whole-bodied, yes. All the hair on your body needs to stand up. That's a yes. And if it's just, oh yeah, it's a nice ball, then it's not your ball. It really has to be a unique experience like you had with your beautiful balls, right?
Yes. And I couldn't get them out of my mind. That was true too. So I felt them, and then they were just like, ah.
It was so funny with your process, because I knew from the beginning that this is your set. But I was waiting for you to also decide that this is your set. They just told me. It's amazing.
Yes, and I love them.
They both tell me. So, and this is where the magic happens. Sorry, there was a delay, and I think I'm speaking over you.
No, that's good. Go on. I was just cheering.
You were saying?
Just cheering.
Yeah. I just really want to highlight it, how important it is that it's not just any ball, that it has to be a ball that is matching you vibrationally where you are. Because that marriage between you and the ball is where the magic unlocks for yourself. And all the courses that I'm teaching, the level 1 is also about healing the healer. So it's about you. It's about giving to yourself, learning about yourself, transforming whatever is to be transformed. And then in level 2, we open into the possibility of not only exploring your voice, but also sharing it as a profession. So it's way more serious in a way that you have case studies, we have feedback sessions, and you really know what you do on an ethical level, soul level, organizational level. You know what you do when you're ready to share your sound path. And I think it's really important, that self-responsibility, because anyone can get out there and play balls, but not anyone can offer to the world what you can offer with your uniqueness, with your unique voice, unique balls, if you choose to really dive deep and unlock all of those keys.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I think I'm looking at my notes if I don't want to be sad because I missed a question.
You go ahead. We have lots of time. You can ask me all of the questions.
Okay, we got the... Okay, Ewelina, you have accompanied a lot of people in those years you done your incredible work. So Maybe you have like a story to share. I love the one with the man who found his bowl, but maybe there's something to share even more from your own journey or from a client. I would love to hear.
Well, from a client, I just had a beautiful, beautiful feedback session with a lady from UK, and she is a holistic practitioner. So she's been actually working with different modalities for a long time. And she shared with me that until the level 2 of Alchemy Ball course, she always felt a little bit self-conscious and uncomfortable speaking to groups or sharing in groups. She felt really wonderful in one-to-one, but in groups she felt out of her comfort zone. And that's why also she signed up for level 2, because it had this component of the work with voice. And we just had a feedback session, which means that she completed all of her sessions, all of her case studies, all of her self-practice. And she said to me, "You would not believe if you saw me in front of the group. I feel so confident. Vocal toning became her daily prayer. She's been doing it for a year. She unlocked within herself the true potential that enabled her to actually hum and sing with her balls in group sessions." Wow. And I think that this was the most beautiful and powerful thing that one can ever hear. Because if you're struggling with making sound in front of another person, the dog or cat doesn't count, then you would know what I'm talking about. It's like it's in your throat and you're trying to get it out, but even if you've planned it, in the end, you're backing up. So it's very hard. And whenever you arrive in that freedom of clearing the blockages and moving the energy with your voice, through your chakra system, through your body, you connect with your voice, you know your voice, your sound, and you're able to share it. It's like you're being born again. It really is. It's a different version of you is entering this plane. You're showing up differently. So for me, it was incredibly beautiful, beautiful thing to witness. And I couldn't be more happier.
Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, what a breakthrough.
Incredible. Yeah.
That is wonderful if that happens. So I always ask my guests, if I remember it, not always, but most of the time, I ask my guests, is there, are there books that accompanied your journey and helped you on your path, which you can share? And it can be about sound, but it also can be like lyrics or something else. So just feel free to share one or two of your soul books.
So many. It's oh my God. To quote one or two, impossible. I will give you the whole list. Really, I'm blank. I will have to give you a list. I usually read 2 or 3 at the same time. But what I was thinking about, what I really would like to share with your listeners,
yes,
is a hug breath. Because hug breath, this is something that I also share with my students, and many of them don't know that the vagus nerve, this wanderer, the longest nerve in our body that connects the brain with all the belly, is the one that we have to focus when we want to relax, when we want to align ourselves within our center. This is the quickest, the most profound way, not the most profound, but one of the most profound ways of bringing yourself into that inner harmony. And, sometimes we all know the power of hug. And sometimes we walk all day through the day and we didn't get that hug yet. So this is your opportunity in getting a hug, because you're going to give it to yourself. So hug breath is a way of you could say toning the vagal nerve. So what we essentially do is we incorporate both the horizontal breath and the vertical breath together. But it is really, really hard to do because usually we go through the day without breathing at all or doing a very shallow breath. So this breath is amazing because it's so simple. All you have to do, and let's do it together, is you have to use one hand and hug yourself on your rib cage. Very good. And then the other hand, you're hugging yourself on your belly, so much lower. So when you'll be breathing, you want to be able to breathe to both of your hands at the same time. And that will lift your rib cage, which is your horizontal breath, and your belly, which is your vertical breath. So the secret of this one is you have to go very slow. And by very slow, I mean 6 breaths a minute. So that means we have 5 seconds for breath in and 5 seconds for breath out. You feel it, right?
Oh, that is beautiful. I love it. I love to hug myself a lot in the morning during practice and stuff because I feel it's a good way to welcome my body into the day. But that is to feel the breath that intense is really great. Sharing, it's beautiful exercise. I love it.
And while you were breathing, the books came to me as well. I would like to share with you 2 incredible books that I've been reading recently about the alchemy of the heart and the alchemy of the brain. And I will share with you the links. Alchemy of the breathing and alchemy of the heart. I will share with you the titles so you can link them for listeners for sure. And I will give you a little link for the hug breath as well, so you can do it at home.
That is beautiful.
It is such a go-to for me, really. And it's such a quick way of really toning your vagal nerve and bringing yourself into that that space of arriving in here and now in your body fully.
Oh, yes. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. What a good way to stop this conversation, because everybody can just look at your website, look on your Instagram, put your hand on that bowl, so you might be chosen to win.
Yes.
Check out Ewelina's courses and her beautiful bowl shop. We can book individual consultations with you. I've had one of those. So you are able to find the matching set or bowl. I'll put all those links in the show notes, and of course also the 2 books you have mentioned.
Yes, absolutely. And there's one more thing I would love to share.
Yes,
that in the spring of this year, 2023, I'll be launching a 1-year long course, and I invite everyone who feels called into diving deeply into this work. So alchemy, crystal balls and voice and energy healing and all things sound and vibration. I'll be inviting teachers from different fields joining me and also teaching various modules. And I am so excited for this offering because it is like a culmination of everything that I've been teaching to date. So I would love.
That sounds amazing. Do we need anything to be able to join?
Yes, level 1, that's all you need. And level 1 course is like an introduction and time that you devote to yourself to level up to certain vibration and then to go deeper with this 1-year long course.
Wow. Sounds amazing. Yes. I will check it out for sure. Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Ewelina, thank you for your time, for your wisdom. It was such fun connecting with you again. I hope everybody listening to this has found some great inspirations for inner harmony, for your own little ceremonies, for diving into yourself a little more, feeling more, whatever you feel called to. And if you've liked this episode, just share it, send it to people who you think you like it. Stars on Instagram, on Spotify and iTunes are very welcome. And of course, go check Ewelina's page and Instagram. Thank you so much and bye-bye.
Silja, thank you so much for having me, and let's spread this consciousness about the work we're doing. I'm so in for it. Thank you so much. Lots of love.
Welcome. Love, love, love.
Bye.
Hey und pst, es gibt einen neuen Podcast von mir, der ursprünglich auf einer von mir geschaffenen Kursplattform nur zur Verfügung gestellt wurde. Er heißt Zurück zur Natur und ich beschreibe darin, wie ich ätherische Öle und Supplements nutze und was ich den Leuten, die das mit mir entdecken, rate. Wenn du also Lust hast, auf diesem Weg auch mir ein bisschen zuzuhören, dann findest du Zurück zur Natur überall da, wo du auch diesen Podcast findest. Viel Spaß beim Zuhören.